and I used both young lady and broad in the introduction. Oh, Tuscany, the stately cypress trees, the rolling vineyards, the beautiful olive trees, the history, the frescoes. It's so beautiful, so breathtaking, so pastoral, until you get behind the wheel. Years ago, when dinosaurs roamed the earth and people used intricately folded paper maps to figure out how to get places, my husband and I realized how to save our marriage. We didn't have to go to couples counseling, we just had to switch seats. I am a very good driver, but a terrible navigator. I had to have the map facing in the direction we were going. I frequently lost track of the road we were on. I couldn't tell east from north or left from right, right brain, left brain things maybe, but it would leave my husband in a constant state of frustration and aggravation, and me in a state of feeling hopelessly incompetent. Then one day we decided I should be the driver and he the navigator, and we've lived happily ever after. At home, I drive a respectable 9 miles above the speed limit, or 70 on 41 and other highways. I keep a safe distance between my car and the car ahead. The trade-off for flat, straight Midwestern roads is speed. My point is, I am not an old lady driver, but Italy is different. The roads, if you can call them that, are narrow. Barely enough room for one car, and yet, improbably, they are two-way. They're often unpaved, and they twist and turn and climb. Getting from one small, charming little town to the next it always seems to require winding up a mountainside, sheer rock face on one side, unguardrailed drop-off on the other. Within a few feet, or meters, as they call them there, you might see any combination of signs with international symbols that indicated that rocks falling from the top of the mountain might tumble down and crush you. The road ahead is shaped like a coiled snake. A deer might leap out in front of you. A rogue cow might wander onto the road out of nowhere. Your car might suddenly start veering side to side, or it might just fall off the side of the mountain altogether. Unsupervised, feral mountain children might dart out in front of you. Your car might suddenly start to run into a snowstorm. A truck might roll backwards, flattening you. Or despite it being a warm summer day, there might be snow. One sign had what appeared to be a flaccid part of the male anatomy, which, based on my observations, meant Italian men, having grown impotent after years of wearing their pants too tight, will compensate for their lack of manhood by trying to do to you with their cars what their bodies no longer can. One sign simply had 3 exclamation points on it, which I assumed meant so many catastrophic things can happen to you on this road that we can't possibly think of them all, and you'll be lucky to make it out alive. Listening to the GPS, you come to realize that you never just turn on these roads. It's always a sharp turn or a hairpin turn. The speed limit is often 90. It's 90 kilometers an hour, not miles, but 90 of anything is just too fast. And yet, regardless of your speed, the Italian men insist on being so close to you, you can practically smell the espresso on their breath. Add to this a rental car with a full complement of so-called safety features. The car would suddenly start beeping, apropos of absolutely nothing. If I so much as blinked, it would flash a warning to pay attention. Really? I was paying such close attention that my hands were cramping from gripping the steering wheel. Once it flashed, maintain control. In my mind, I screamed, I am effing maintaining control, you jerk. In my mind, the car responded, oh yeah? You don't really seem to be so in control right now, lady. Shut up, I said. Unfortunately, not in my head, because my husband looked up from his phone and said, what? Nothing. I was talking to the car, which caused my husband to look at me intently and say, "What?" Almost as harrowing as the winding mountain roads were the tiny cobblestone streets of the little towns with their roundabout. Is that the first exit? Do I get off here? Is that person going all the way around? Who has the right of way? "Go there," my husband would shout while pointing. "You have to use words, I can't see your hands. You have to count," he'd counter. One time, we were trying to get out of one town to head to a mountain vineyard for a wine tasting. Pedestrians were all around as I tried to maneuver around them. "Turn right," the GPS said. "Turn right," my husband reiterated. "Are you sure? That doesn't seem right. You mean right here?" "Yes, just do it." So I did, and immediately heard the most terrible noise coming from the bottom of the car as we realized that not only had I turned onto a pedestrian way, it was steps. We were driving down ancient stone steps. Oh shit, well, you just have to keep going until we're back on the street. Each bump down, another horrible scraping sound as I tried to remember what our deductible was on the rental. We did make it out of that town with the car and all pedestrians intact. "Just so you know," I advised my husband, "I'm going to enjoy this tasting, and you will be driving back." He did not argue. The beautiful inn in which we were staying was so lovely. There was a vineyard next door, olive and orange trees, lots of places to sit and contemplate and read. And to get there required that we drive on a one-lane, but two-way gravel. I can't even call it a road. It was a path that wound its way through a big field. By the second day, the car was so covered in dust, you couldn't even see out the windows. One time, as we were heading up, a van was heading down. I tried to pull over to give the van room and ended up halfway in a ditch. The van passed easily, and I revved the engine to get righted again, spewing gravel and dust in our wake. My husband borrowed a hose from the host and gave the car a good washing. On our last day, we had to drive back to Rome to return the car near the airport. I drove so slowly down the lane to avoid kicking up dust so the rental company wouldn't be alerted to the abuses we'd heaped upon this car. We had a plane to catch and ran into some unexpected traffic, so I had to muster up a little impotent Italian man energy and put the pedal to the metal. I literally held my breath each time we passed a truck on the highway, where the lanes were still ridiculously narrow, but the speed limit was now 130. We made it to the car rental drop-off with a few minutes to spare. The rental agent came out to inspect the car. I stood a few feet away and tried to look nonchalant. My husband and I didn't dare look at each other. He took a long pole with a mirror attached and ran it under the car. We held our breath. "Everything looks good. Your deposit will be released immediately. Have a good trip. Thank you for renting with us." "Great, ciao, thank you, grazie." We called out as we dashed into the van. We waited until we were safely in the air before bursting into laughter and had incredibly good fortune. Our next stop was Greece, with its beautiful sun-kissed islands, the striking white buildings with their sea blue roofs, and their own share of rolling hills. And once again, I found myself in the driver's seat. Compared with Italy, Greece was a driving cakewalk, but nevertheless, it had its challenges. First of all, there's the language. It wasn't that I didn't know Greek. I didn't even know their alphabet. I couldn't tell a scenic overlook from a hazardous waste ahead sign. Greek men wear loose, breezy pants, so none of the problems you face with Italian men. And, however, there seems to be a rather significant cultural difference in driving attitude. Greek men, and lest you think I'm being totally sexist, it truly is just the men, appear to believe that traffic rules and laws are mere suggestions. It's as if Dimitri woke up and said, "I stopped at stop sign last week. I do not think I care to stop again. You should stop because you are a tourist. But me? No." Frequently, a car would simply back out of a driveway onto a busy street as if Custis were saying, "I want to go now. I'll go now. I think you can wait because I feel like going now. Opa!" When they decided that they were at their destination, they stopped, regardless of whether they were in the middle of the street, halfway around the corner, perpendicular, any old crazy angle. I am where I need to go. This would be my parking spot. It's okay. You can go around. Bravo. I guess I should just be grateful that the GPS didn't tell me to drive down the steps of the Parthenon. On our flight home, my husband and I looked at pictures and relived some of the more memorable moments. Then I looked deeply into my husband's eyes and told him I thought it was time to take our relationship to the next level. Next time, I purred, we take the bus.